who are you with?
I'm Shane Buettner, and I'm the co-founder of a company called MIBS Distro, a hi-fi distribution company. And I also run I'm the founder and the boss of a premium vinyl record reissue company called Intervention Records. So I have a big analog footprint in this business, so to speak.
Very cool. And how did you get into hi-fi?
How did I get into hi-fi? So I've always loved music. My mom was very young when I was born. She was just 17. And she and my uncle got me into a lot. You know, I listened to music when I was like everybody growing up, but in particular, like in the early 70s, like a lot of rock and roll and stuff that was popular at the time. And, you know, that never left me. And then when I was somewhere around 19 or 20 years old, an old roommate of mine took me to a real legit high-end stereo store. And I saw and heard a big system with panel speakers that were, I think they were taller than I was at the time, or maybe I'm just remembering it that way, and a VPI TNT turntable. And it looked and sounded like nothing I'd ever experienced before, right? And they played, they played Also Sprach Zarathustra, which I was like, oh, that's the music from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Oh my God. I've never heard it sound that way. And then they did the same thing with Pink Floyd, you know, Time, with the clocks and all the chimes, and then that and the music. And it was just this emotional transportation that like I'd never experienced before. And honestly, the bug never left.
Amazing. And what inspired you to start MIBS?
I'm not employable by anybody else, so I had to start my own companies. I totally can't be domesticated anymore. So, no, you know, it was a happy group of circumstances. One of the brands that my company represents is Lyra. They're a company based in Japan that makes high-end phono cartridges. They were our first client, and I've got a relationship with the principals there going back almost 25 years now. And it just, you know, the bottom line is one of those things, a confluence of events it made sense for all of us to go into business together back in 2022. And I already knew them and knew their line intimately. And I have just been so fortunate in this business because through the entire, you know, so I started on the editorial side. I used to write about this stuff, and I was a writer and editor, ended up being the editor-in-chief of Home Theater Magazine for a few years. And then I jumped the fence